Yo, what up, what up, what up? Tone Space. Oh man, you want to talk about exposures? Boy, oh boy, did I hear some like heavy duty exposure for those in the nigga shit circles and all that type of stuff right there. Woo! Now, it's just to let it be known, motherfuckers are still talking shit about me, still talking shit about my woman, this, that, the third, practically every single day. So I did not want to miss the chance to really highlight some important factors with that dude that be violating women at gunpoint and a woman whose mother they both living under the roof of and her crazy out this world exposure that recently just happened. You know what I'm saying? By way of the Jamila girl or whatever, right? And no, it ain't no that was 4 or 5 years ago. That don't mean shit. No, no, that was very telling. And what I'm talking about is a text message exchange between the Jamila girl and the busted bitch or whatever, right? Super expose, high grade, high level, you know what I'm saying? Don't drop the yellow cake type shit going on. Because it's not even the events and the situations that she divulged were exposure level shit. It was like, whoa, this bitch is nuts. This bitch is a bird. This bitch is an ingrate. Sure. But the big thing I really want to put forth and let be known is that text message exchange showed her personality. It showed her level of gullibility. It showed that as just as a human being, she has no respect. She's subservient. She's overly submissive. And what I mean by that, I use the word overly submissive because as a woman, you expect a level of submissiveness. Overly submissive is when you just submit to other women. And that's what I saw there. Ooh, boy. So, for some preface, the Jamila woman does, I'm not going to knock the hustle and what they do, but she does what's called spiritual work. I believe she considers herself a witch, a practitioner, stuff like that, and she charges for services, as I understand. The busted chick that dude is leeching off of came to her. I guess she peeped on YouTube for a little while through the years. So around, early 2020, she reached out to her, right? Jamila girl, that is. Hit her on the text, but it's the whole mentality. You could just smell the fanned outedness in her text exchange. Goddess. She practically looked at Jamila as her goddess. She was on some like, yo, I really need you for this spiritual work, for the issues that's going on in my life. Can you help me? Please. Oh, I have Cash App, but you take Etsy. I'll get Etsy just so I could have the platform in which you desire to get paid off of. I mean, it was crazy, super fanned out. Like Jamila was the biggest superstar she ever got to get a few characters of an exchange with. And as per the beginning text messages, they went unresponded by the Jamila woman. She on some shit like, yo, I don't get down like that. I don't do personal responses. You know my work, you know my website. You know how to get a hold of me. You go on there and, your money better be right. And then I'll work with you. That's how I do this. I don't do it like that. I ain't your friend at this piece. You know what I'm saying? What you want? Who sent you? Type shit. Right? So I guess after a while of trying to like be on some super fanned out shit, stand out shit, writing love letters to the woman, finally the Jamila woman gave like, I don't know, maybe a few characters of a response. Enough of a response that you could get away with a Twitter post, right? It won't max out the Twitter post to the limit of characters. And her response to Busted Chick, she was elated. Exclamation points all over the place. Oh, thank you so much for responding to me. Thank you for giving me the time of day. Thank you for giving me the opportunity with my broke ass to give you the last of my money because I'm beating the head with this foolishness. Not to say that her shit's foolish, but The way this woman's rocking with it is straight up foolishness, the busted bitch. So I could give you this money and play with some shit I ain't got no business playing with because I'm fanned out, I'm subservient. Her, that is, she's weak, she's a buster, but I'm bedazzled by this type of lifestyle, by this world. In fact, prior to hitting you up, I used to politic with this one and that one. I'm caught up with this. She's so insecure. A lot of times, these like little birds, slow women that get involved in all that witchery and all that, it's because they're insecure. Their life is messed up. They're inept as far as being able to just have regular social interactions. I mean, it's normal for people to have problems. Mothers and mother-in-laws, family members, siblings, children. People go through stuff. But you know what people with just a moderate average amount of self-respect and normalcy and social skills do? They deal with it in the real world. They have conversations. Oh, you want money for this and that? Well, I feel I got a right because I already spending money in this, ma'am. And how about this, that, the third? Boom, boom, boom. Or they have conversations with their husband. Oh, right, look, we need to sit down because I got a serious issue with the way you talk to me. I'm not playing. I will walk out this door. So this is serious. We got to really talk. They do shit like that. They don't go into gobbledygook land. The normal people, the people that aren't slow, that know how to have social interactions, that know how to just be regular human beings, that know how to use their God-given talents. You want to talk about something spiritual and everything? Well, for most of us, God already gave us the abilities, just like how I'm on here shooting the shit, talking, able to communicate and orate this tale and this foolish ass story. Yeah, God has given people the ability to talk to people, normal folks. But then you got a few people that's just, not quite there in the grill piece and the mind piece and all that, that they got to go into, fantasy land and whatever. They got to take a bunch of drugs. They got to do all this and that, and you know what I'm saying, and get beat in the head and spend big hundreds that's supposed to feed their children. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to keep the bills paid. They're spending big hundreds on stuff like that. The normal ones that got issues with someone's mother-in-law while they're living under their mother-in-law's roof. Well, shit, let's just say the morally sound motherfuckers. You don't even gotta say normal. Because the people that aren't absolute scumbags that live under their husband's mother's roof, they're not lighting black candles on the mother and trying to bring harm to that mother of which the roof in which your funky ass is living under. They're not doing that. Let me slow it down because we're gonna get to that. But the main thing I want to take y'all to take home is this bitch showed how socially inept she is. She showed how gullible she is. She showed how evil she is, trying to do black magic on people that's putting a roof over her fucking head. So that right there, you know what I'm saying? That's the undertone to the whole shit. So when you look at the details that we're going to get into real quick of this and that, yeah, that shit was embarrassing. That shit was crazy. But don't forget, see, those were all situational. All right, it's 25. So nigga can say, oh, that was years ago. That ain't going on now. She changed. She's with a guru now, so she ain't living like that. Yeah, all right, you could excuse that away. But you can't excuse away the just personality of a person that would look to another woman that she don't know, that she sees on YouTube, going through all types of crazy shit herself, and is on some super fanned out shit and willing to spend her last dollar on some stuff that has no base in physical reality. You know, the ones that are able to tap into those realms, this is the irony of it. Those that can tap in and connect to that type of stuff, they're doing it after they kind of master regular stuff. After they master the normalcy of human interaction, they're more bright, they're more savvy, they're more intelligent. You know, they have such a grasp on the regular minutia that goes on in the world and dealing with their people that their mind starts to think of what's next, what's beyond this. And that curiosity leads them into spiritual realms. And then they may check into this and that and stuff like that and do it for those purposes. But they're not doing it because they're handicapped with regular normal social shit. The people that are socially, emotionally, physically, and mentally, or mentally anyway, handicapped with shit like that, those are the ones they ain't supposed to be playing with that other shit because it's gonna kick their ass. That's the irony of the shit. Ain't it interesting? So that's what this ugly, slow ass bitch was doing. Fanned out over this woman, right? Ready to spending big money, $360, 28 something dollars tax, as if that 28 something dollars tax is really going to a tax man. It's going into the same pocket and financial belongings of the same person that you gave the other 362. You're not getting a physical product. You know? Complain, oh, Georgia's on some shit with $28 tax. That ain't Georgia. That's Georgia's own practitioner that's doing that to you. And salute to that. You had you a good one that time. Woo! And thanks for putting this shit out too, also. Right? So yeah, now let's go into the details of what them text messages were talking about. Oh my. So again, as I said, this ugly chick, she had a husband at the time, living under her husband's mother's roof, both of them. They don't have their own crib. So there's a sense of struggle going on, just like she's struggling now with her new rapist boyfriend that she's with, and him feeding off of her mother's crib, just like how she's struggling now under a parent roof. 5 years ago, she was struggling too, right? So she's reaching out to this woman that she looks up to as a goddess, and is spilling everything out, big paragraphs about her life, about how she believes her husband and her husband's mother have demons attached to them from the church, from the big bad evil Christian church. It got to them. And she wants to do black magic on her husband's mother because her husband's mother wants money for this, wants money for that, or may not like this, or may not like that she's doing while under her roof. But she don't like that. Ingrate type shit. Or just too slow to really have a moral compass in that regard. And she wants to do black magic. She wants to bring harm to this man's mother that's housing her. Sneaky ass ugly bitch too. Disgusting. Under kissing on her husband every night, whatever the heck. Going through shit with him, whatever. But then on the low, trying to bring harm on a spiritual level to that man's mother. That's what was revealed in those text messages. Here's a funny one that was revealed in the text messages. She's going through her shit, dabbling in this, dabbling in that. So she said she took a bath and the water was black. It was real dark in her husband's mother's bathtub. Big rings around the tub, black, dirty water. And she's trying to imply that it had some spiritual connotation or a demon is trying to get to her. See, look, the water was black. No, the water was black is because your ass was nasty, because you're dirty. Maybe you need to get up in that bath more often. Rub-a-dub-dub in the tub. However that song went, ironically, about the woman that you were kissing up to, that's your goddess. Maybe you should get your ass in that tub more often and you wouldn't have that black water problem. See what I mean? Perfect example. It's regular social shit. You take a bath, the water's black as a motherfucker. You think it's some spiritual stuff. Oh, can you get the goddess to help? Can you get spirit to help my water not be black? It's simple. Wash your ass more often and the water won't be black. See, look at that. Easy solution. Regular world shit. Non-retards and regular people in the world, they realize that. They realize if the water in the tub is black, their ass was too funky. You know what I'm saying? Wash your ass more. Don't wash your ass once a week. Start washing your ass twice a week. Take it slow. And I bet you that water is going to lighten up, lighten up, lighten up, lighten up every time you get your ass up out of there. And this is her stepmother, her husband's mother's crib that she's putting big black rings around the tub of. And she needs some spiritual assessment for the tub rings. Just like she needs spiritual assessment and solution for the tub ring. She have an argument with her husband. It has to be something in the spirit world that can fix this. Can't just have a conversation. Or can't just be bold enough to confront him. You don't got to get all super out of line. You can still do it womanly. But to just have a regalness to you to be able to express yourself to that man, to put down ultimatums to that man. That would have had way better an effect than lighting a candle or doing a ritual to this or saying it's the big bad Christian demons that's attached to him and his mother that you're trying to off with the candles. That would have worked a whole lot better. Just like washing your ass would have worked better with the tub shit. You know what I mean? And even on that, now, because I'm someone that is pretty well cultured as far as at least tapping into different SECTs of belief systems and everything from Christianity to the Wiccan to pretty much all the stuff, a lot of stuff or whatever. I'm not saying I'm a master at all, jack of trades at every single one, but I'm curious. A curious person is going to look, and that shit I was talking about earlier, when you know how to do the regular social shit, your mind kind of starts wondering about what's next. Yeah, I've been there, done that. That's why I can say that, right? So I'm aware. So the point that I'm saying, I want to just get all long-winded with it, is I'm not going to act like there ain't a such thing as Christian demons. But it's not that they're Christian demons. It's that it could be demons, and I'm sure there are churches that exploit Christianity, for the gold of the world, to line someone's pocket and use Christianity to tug on heartstrings and might have a nefarious, even a devilish purpose behind it. Just look at the Masonic Church. They use Christianity, or misuse it, should I say. But then when you want to get up in them rankings, you got to pop a dick in your mouth. You got to be up in a coffin, all this other, non-cipher type stuff. You feel me? So that does exist. So I ain't just gonna say that I know for sure that the church that they were a part of, especially on some down south stuff, secluded area type shit, it may well have been some demons up in there. I ain't gonna say it ain't. But the intelligent folks are gonna realize that that doesn't mean that it's the Christianity and the one true God that's the demon. That just means that God in that church may be being misused or misrepresented, right? But I'm pretty sure what this woman was implying in that text exchange was that Christianity and what we know as the God, the one true and living God, is really evil. Because that's how they warp you into that. Oh, God is evil. This is good. Well, if all that stuff was good and all that Wiccan and all that other stuff, then why is it that everyone that becomes like real deep practitioners in it, they start looking old and withered and evil? They start getting like movies tell you the truth. Just look at Star Wars. Palpatine wasn't always with the big dark circles under his eyes and all evil and wild. Is when he started fucking with that stuff. Dark side of the force that he got all. Look at a lot of top people in society in the world, and all that run countries and everything, and a lot of them answer to some strange stuff. And them, you could just see the evilness. Look at George Soros. I mean, come on. So it's like we get hints about what to rock with and what not to rock with all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I digress with that. You know what I'm saying? Where was I don't know. Well, anyway, big text messages of all types of bullshit, trying to knock off the man's mother whose roof you live under. Now that's some cold shit. You laying up with your husband and you trying to do harm to his mother? It's disgusting. Matter of fact, it makes sense now. Because remember, that dude did lie. That Tony dude, her husband, he did lie when he said that she was on meth. When he first came on the YouTube thing, he said she don't do any drugs, she just drinks. But then after, they had their little shit. Now, I understand them lying now. With she trying to knock off his mother, hey, I can understand. Make up all the shit you want. I don't blame you, brother. But then he started saying she was on meth, to explain why she looked so ugly, why she got the pot marks, why she look all withered and old and nasty and 84 and all that. It's now I understand. Trying to fuck with that shit. Especially one like that is internally weak, that shouldn't be fucking with that shit. Oh, it makes sense now. And another thing, one should never do that fucks with that shit. Never try to come at people where it's just so evidently clear and obvious that you shouldn't be coming at them with that shit. It's going to go bad for you. It's going to go terrible for you. Let me just put that disclaimer out right there. Certain people, you know who to fuck with and not to fuck with that shit. Let me just put that out there right there. Woo, the protection things is up. You know what I mean? So now, oh, it wasn't the meth. It was that shit, that misusing of that other shit. Now here's another one that was revealed in those text messages. Apparently, the brother Tony had a cousin that passed away. Rest in peace to him. And apparently, his wife at the time, the ugly chick or whatever, she got a service from him, a reading or something like that, sometime before. And then sometime later, he passed away. This woman is telling the Jamila girl that she was getting a strong sexual energy, mind you, after this guy passed away. He in her dreams, he's like, she getting all wiggly over this dude, getting a strong sexual feeling, laid up at night, jugging herself to a man that passed away while her husband's right there, mentally having sex with the dead man. As morbid as that sounds, she said this. Let's to take it even deeper. Because she let it be known that they weren't financially on point. They were kind of struggling and shit, right? Yet she, while sexually charged and feeling not the juices, she's dry, but feeling the wiggliness of a man that passed away, she's going to do rituals and make sacrifices to him. She said she's going and buying stuff and putting it by somewhere and spending big money. What you doing? Buying chicken, fruit, stuff that you supposed to be feeding your ass and your family with. And you giving it to someone that can't even eat it. Because once you lay it down there for the ritual, the next day, if it don't get mold, the only thing it's going to get is mold. After that, it's still going to be there. Y'all could have ate that. Doing big rituals, spending that $10, $20, whatever, that could have fed y'all broke asses. She's doing big rituals to this man that she's sexually attracted to that's no longer here. Crazy shit, B. Crazy shit. Yeah, that was 4 or 5 years ago, whatever. But the mentality, that person is still that same person. It's not about the specific act, just like with her rapist dude. Yeah, it was years ago. He put a gun to a woman's head and demanded head and all that. It ain't about that. It's the mentality, and he's still of that same mentality. He didn't tell that story like he was sorry about it. Like, yo, I ain't going front, man. This is the worst thing I ever done in my life, B. I can't believe I even did it myself. I'm not that person anymore. Like 20, 30 years ago, put a gun to Shorty's head and said she better, worst thing I ever done in my life. He don't tell it like that. He tries to make a joke about it. The same rapist-minded person is who he is. The same gullible, slow, withered, evil person that woman was them 4 or 5 years ago exists still right now. You feel me? So never let that point escape your peripheral, your in front vision, your hindsight, your third eye. Crazy. Now we're going to play a little quick game of, if she did that, then most likely she also has done going to the Apocrypha, buying big stuff to do rituals to a man that's passed away. Rest in peace to the guy. I'm not trying to talk bad about the man, his existence, his spirit, none of that at all. Rest in peace to that man. But that's what that woman should have done. Let that man rest in peace. I don't think that man was thinking of her sexually on any type of level. I think that was all cuckoo land stuff going on with this woman. But anyway, the game. If she did this, most likely she also has. So if she has been fancying herself as a type of practitioner like this and delving in all this other stuff, then most likely she also has drank her own urine. I'm willing to bet that she has performed urine therapy. See, I told you, I know about all this type of stuff and what goes on. She probably put a couple drops under her eyes of her own piss or someone else's piss or whatever, ingested a little teaspoon of piss, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, most likely she's ingested her own urine. If she's done all this black magic and trying aggressive spells to attack people and all that type of stuff, If she's done that and admitted that she's done that, she likely has also have, drum roll please, boom, boom, done doodoo spells. I'm pretty sure she's done a doodoo spell or four. Yep, especially 2020-ish, around that time. You know, doodoo spells were kind of big around the slow wannabe witch bitch community. I can't tell you how many people were talking about, oh, I did a doodoo spell on this one, doodoo spell on that one. She has played with feces, trust me. Dude's mom's probably, has had an attempt on her life by way of fecal matter. Be it in a jar, be it, I don't know, do you stick the candles in the log and then blow them out? Whatever they do with the doodoo. I never really got that far where I understand exactly what they do with the doodoo. But yeah, doodoo spells are a thing. And if one is doing all this and that, and most likely she's tried a doodoo spell or many, you know what I'm saying? Crazy shit right here, B. But yeah, I think I'm done with everything I had to say about all this weird shit. But yeah, point remaining for somebody. I'm talking about the rapist dude that got all this to say about my woman, about other people's women's, and all of that. And then we get some shit like this. We get insight into who she is as a person, and then we get this. We got attempts on the person that's housing her, attempts on her life by way of this and that. Oh yeah, I mean there was more stuff in the text about her, talking about killing herself to her husband, asking why he don't love her. Believe it or not, I look at that as light. I mean, there's a lot of women that are, that's just the regular insecure shit. That's not really anything I wouldn't have expected. I mean, it's to be expected for someone like that. But all that other shit, attempts on, mother-in-law and all that, and all this other shit, jugging herself to the spirit and saying she's sexually wiggly and aroused by him and all this other weird shit. And then what else? Text message, paranoid that her husband at the time wanted to have sex with her daughter. Like, why is that even on your mind? Like, what you got going on, B? Bugging. But yeah, yo, I felt compelled to speak about this because I don't want it to escape people's attention. The type of person, and that's the main thing you want to take home from these text messages: an insight into the personality, an insight into the gullibility, an insight into the retarded slowness. Now you can understand. Because first I'm looking at the rapist nigga, I'm like, why is he calling himself a guru? I know he's slow, but he should know ain't nobody in this YouTube area gonna believe that guru shit. He's a bum. Oh, but he lives with a super gullible woman that's gonna hold on and hang on to every word he says, like it means something. Cause yeah, he's the stupid motherfucker. He's uncultured and all that, but she's way worse. Now I understand. So he is her guru. So that kind of pumps him up to think that he could call himself a guru out this bitch. Crazy shit, B. Anyway, that's what I gotta say about it. Anybody but a dead body. Juggling yourself to us. Come on.